Yeah, happy Thursday, everybody. Happy Thursday. Welcome to Change the Lives. Hosted by yours truly, Deonte Burden. I'm back in his house.
That's right.
Back here in Misfits Radio, Misfits TV and stuff. Been out for a couple weeks, man, but we're back here. And we got a great show planned for you guys tonight. Subject matter that a lot of parents, or even people in general, talk about, because people got different views when they see kids behaving in a little rowdy way, how to do things. We're talking about how to handle tantrums and outbursts.
Okay.
How to handle tantrum outbursts. Because most times you see a kid somewhere and they start yelling, crying or doing something. First thing you hear somebody say, need to beat their ass. Beat their ass. That's all you.
Yeah, discipline them. Discipline. But you got to say discipline on the line.
Well, in today's climate, though, just being real, I'm sorry, but in today's climate, you can't do that.
No, you can't.
You can't. As I coached Park and Rec 22 years, man. And I tell them parents, hey, listen, I get it. But you got to take them back out of the trees, take them behind the building. So that really, isn't the actual route you can go, especially in public now. I mean, just keeping it real.
Right.
Yeah, so you can't, because everybody isn't okay with that. And the way it is in society now, regardless how you feel personally, you just can't do it.
Yeah, chastisement is not, it's frowned upon.
Yeah, you're whooping is somebody else's beating.
Right.
So what I want to do is have a discussion with everybody in regards to, again, how to handle tantrums and outbursts. Have a discussion, give you guys a couple of, things to look for, things to kind of work with and all that. Just hopefully, with you guys' feedback as well, share some things that, you've experienced or, had to work with in regards to just disciplining kids. But again, we're talking about how to handle tantrums and outbursts. And before I get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producer, DJ Lab.
What's going on, brother? It's been a month and 2 Sundays.
Hey, bro, I'm here.
But we here.
Yes, sir. We're here, man. I'm glad to be back.
I've been seeing you've been doing some great numbers on your videos. Been watching, seeing them numbers going up. I said, okay, there you go.
I appreciate it. I also try to do some of the lives by myself on the ones and twos, trying to do my best impression of you.
Right.
That shit wasn't working.
It wasn't working.
Hell, man.
But you made it through, though.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I did it. Also, I want to say to my other producer, Sleek 316. What's up, Reek?
What's going on, Reek?
Yeah. But now, man, I tried it, man. But it was it ain't nothing like being home.
That's
so
right.
I'm glad.
Ain't nothing like having you home either.
Hey, appreciate it.
Like having you home. All the family came back.
Yeah, absolutely. Really now 2025 out the box.
That's right.
So, with that said, like, when you hear the whole subject matter, how to handle tantrum and outbursts, when you think about this initially, what is your general ideas? Like, okay, this is I know you don't have a one size fits all answer.
Right.
With each kid.
Right.
You got one child you can look at, another you might yell at, another you got to pop them. Right. So, what is general like your action in regards to that?
Well, when it came to that, I really didn't experience it as a child. So, but
like with your children,
right? I'm talking about raising.
Got you this
because what generally happens is, when you become a parent, you generally copy what was done or said to you when you was a child. We don't really remember that, but a lot of times we copy our parents or our grandparents when we're raising our children.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even though we try our best not to be like them, we say ourselves, but we're actually mimicking exactly what they did to us or said to us or how they raised us when we raised our children. So the reason why I say I never experienced, because my ex-wife did. So I was more of a problem solver. Let's talk about this. What can we do to make this better? And my wife was straight to corporal punishment. You know what I'm saying? My ex-wife was straight to corporal punishment. But like you said, some children responded to a conversation. Understand? Some of my children responded to, the boys actually responded better to conversation than my daughter did. And my daughter was middle, but she was rebellious out the chute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she wasn't very responsive to, let me talk to you, baby. Let's sit down for a minute. And to this day, she's not very responsive to calm down. Let's talk about this. You know what I'm saying? You going overboard for no reason. She's more like her mother.
Yeah.
To like she's more. I mean, they don't even get along because they so much alike.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. So, but my boys are more like, okay, Dad, I understand. You know, I'm sorry, I didn't think about it that way. They respond better to a conversation. But that girl ain't she does not respond. So even with that, even with her being small and you know when she was a child, I still didn't rush to corporal punishment. That was just not something I experienced, so I didn't think it was necessary all the time. Now sometimes you gotta get loud with them or whatever. It was just for me, it was a hodgepodge of what I would do.
Yeah.
It was more based on their response to me when I'm trying to, you know, talk to them about the problem.
Yeah.
Now if they respond to me, flip it, then we're gonna have a problem. You get what I'm saying? So that's more my take on it. Now my wife was just automatically corporal punishment. My ex-wife was automatically. Their mom was automatically corporal punishment.
No exception.
They be outside playing. She say, "Don't get dirty." They get a stand at you. Corporal punishment. Yeah. It's just like, what are you getting? Like she was like, "Why are you so mad? It's just clothes." Like it's just how she was. But that's how she was raised. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Just how she was raised. So she only knew what she experienced.
Mm-hmm. You know, I'm a firm believer in everybody gonna have a different style because you know I always feel like the end game is the end game. And that's raised. You know, you got your kids raised. They're doing all right. They're good people. They're grow to be good citizens. And how you got there is how you got there. So I always say it's not a right or wrong way. It's just different. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I've always been very cognizant of that. You know, like with my kids, I only had one. My third son, Christopher. Okay. And he was more so because he had challenges with his speech. You know, okay. Secret. Right. So, right. I mean, anybody that grew up with him know how he used to cut the damn food when he was younger. And coincidentally, he's probably the most mild-mannered of all my kids now. And he is. I met him. But he's cut the damn food. But that was his rebellious because of the fact that he had the speech problem. Correct. And he probably got teased and all that stuff. So he was deflecting, really. It wasn't really the tease. I think he just didn't know how to communicate. But he would cut the damn food. I mean, just with doing that. My oldest son did it a little bit when me and my wife first started like dating. But he was just spoiled. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And you know, he a couple pops on the butt. He was good. Right. My third son, I kind of felt that wasn't going to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, this just we got to get this together. Right. Because I've been very honest with this, man. I said I had wrapped my damn mind around like it's funny, man. He damn almost 20. I had wrapped my mind in college. I had wrapped my mind around shit. I might gotta take care of his ass forever. He off. He was. Yeah, I had wrapped my mind. That's a conclusion. Yeah. So, this is your blood. Yeah. My bloodline sucked. What's going on, man? Like I really wrapped my mind from that, like let's say 3 to maybe 6 years old. Like shit, I might probably take care of him forever, man. Like you know, I was right. Really with it because he was just so, and he didn't have any autism. It wasn't nothing like that, but you just that behavior, right? Like, what's going on, right? And I couldn't pinpoint it, but you know, we got him in speech therapy. Everything worked out and smoothed out over the years, man. By the time he hit 4th or 5th grade, he was good. Yeah, but it was always, I always say that was a testament to me not giving up. You know what I'm saying? I always say that with myself, like, because that was also in that little time period where I said I was out there making all that damn money, and I really wanted around. Yeah. Say hey to mama. What's up, mama? What's going on? Tantrums. Yeah. Slick says, I did more punishment and talk and taking away things, but got in that, you know what, when need be. Grades and lies have no room for growth with me. Yeah. And you know your kid, kid, you know, on the BS and all that kind of stuff. Right. We're doing it. But you know, they're just that I do think it's we start talking about these tantrums and outbursts. The fucking part about this is that when you out somewhere in public, like you at home, you might sweep on the rug, just say because you might be busy, you're doing something, you don't want to address it at that particular time, right?
Right.
But when you get to a point where people like you ever see the people where, hey, come here, Poochie, cuss. And everybody laughing, everybody doing it.
Right.
But then when Poochie do it while you're around coworkers or you're in public, and he doing the stuff that y'all were giggling about, or Poochie then got older, he never got out of it, which happens all the time. Now people embarrassed.
You true.
Yeah, and then as now you're doing it because now mom, dad, you're going to the school, the thing that you kind of accepted and then check at the house. Now they're around other people. Yeah, because I'm a firm believer. You raise your children to be able to deal with other people in the world, not necessarily just your house.
You, right?
People say this is how we do in our home, but your child grows up. Your child is not going to live in your home. Your child's going to live in the world.
Right.
If your child has not been prepared to deal with the world, respecting other people, doing stuff like that. It's just they're gonna have problems.
Right. Most definitely.
I think a lot of people forget that aspect. You gotta, just be Mr. Friendly or whatever, but at the end of the day, respecting other people's privacy, respecting other people's property, respecting your space, and all that kind of stuff. If you haven't taught your child that, and they grow up, well, this is not tell them to do this, we let them do that. They ain't living in your house,
right? And you have a lot of parents who negotiates with their children. Negotiate. Like, well, I let him make the decision of what he wants to do. He's 5, right?
And like that shit cool till they get older,
right?
You know what I'm saying,
right?
Hey guys, again, tonight we're talking about how to handle tantrums and emotional outbursts. Am I right? How to handle tantrums?
Yeah, emotional tantrums and outbursts.
And outbursts. The call-in number, I forgot it, 678-740-9894. Again, the call-in number is 678-740-9894. It's something I was trying to think about before I get too far down the rabbit hole. But when we think about a tantrum. A tantrum is emotional outbursts. Emotional outbursts are a way for children to express frustration, disappointment, or overwhelm when they lack the skill to do so constructively. Right? So just they go on a whim, however they expressing themselves and things like that. There can be a rainbow of reasons why. And we can look at different things in regards to their developmental stage. They're a young child, they're still learning how to regulate their emotions. They got triggers. They can be hungry, fatigued, overstimulated, or unmet desires. The next one can be communication barriers, like I said with Christopher, difficulty expressing needs or feelings. And sometimes it's, what it is a lot of times. Testing boundaries.
Right.
Exploring autonomy and control. How far can I push the needle? Okay, you know what I'm saying? Because I want to stay up late. I don't want to go to bed. I know if I raise hell, all right, just hell, because I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear it.
Just stay up. And if you sleepy at school, you're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch my show, but because you're not letting me watch my show, I'm gonna just let you have your way.
And some children know how to turn the knob on you, get what they want. They do certain things. They know that's gonna take you to 10, and they do it all the time, especially when they want something.
Yeah, you gotta get credit. Kids more credit than what they are. Sometimes we say, well, just they little, because some things you can say from a maturity standpoint, they don't understand how things are.
Right.
But from a manipulative standpoint, they do know what the hell going on. They do know if I do this, I show this behavior, this what gets that.
That's what happens.
And I say all the time, one of the biggest things parents don't want to do is let their kids go through something. That fear of seeing them fail, that fear of seeing them being disappointed, that fear of seeing them mad or upset with you. They don't want to go through it, so they'll stop it and let them have their way. But what happens is you negate the possibility that they'll be able to learn how to adjust their behavior, learn right from wrong. Right? We talk about one of the early lessons you always learn. Grandma said, "Don't touch that stove. That stove
hot." Right.
All right. And you just gonna touch it anyway. Right. Now, from that point forward, the stove is hot.
Right.
Right. But sometimes people just don't want to learn.
They want to keep putting their hand in front of the stove right before you touch it.
Yeah, you got something on here. Keep on doing it. Keep on doing it and never learn. Right. Because realistically, you do have people that may have developmental issues. I understand it, But you got some folks, to be honest with you, that's straight hard headed.
Right.
I mean, no way around. They just that's how they are,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever. And I think to another point we were bringing up earlier, a lot of times people don't want to get embarrassing if they say okay certain things because it's cool when when I can post on social media. My child was down there well, you know, when they little. But what we know is the younger our children are, the more control we got.
Right.
As they get older, the less control
we
got.
get. Right.
Because like I with us less time, and then we got to get out there growing up making decisions. And I think a lot of times when people get out there and people see, you know, your child, see when they're little, whatever, and it's cool, show the little pictures, and now they turn, anywhere from 10 up. Mm-hmm. 10
that's when they grow into their own self.
What the hell going on?
Right.
Now you're looking at all this free my baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what happened and everything. And it's not a knock on parents because I always say, man, we get too much credit when they doing good, and get too much blame when they doing wrong.
I was in the Walmart the other day, and while we talking about tantrums and outbursts, and I kid you not, this little girl was yelling and crying. I mean, just yelling and screaming. I don't even know if she was crying. I think she was just yelling and screaming. It was something she wanted, and her mama told her, "No, you can't have that." And she was just screaming and yelling. I mean, this little girl. I was in the store for about 40 minutes. She screamed the whole 40 minutes I was in that store, and with no stopping. It was like, I mean, just like constant screaming and yelling, and the mama, you could tell the mama was used to it because she just went on about her business shopping with her in the cart like it wasn't no thing. While we all turn around like, what's going on with this child?
You know, it's interesting because what you don't know if they have issues. Just say if the kid is, on the spectrum,
right,
with doing it and everything like that. And at the end of the day, I can't sit here and say how to regulate that.
Right.
I think from a knowledge standpoint, we handle things a lot differently because when we were younger, they would just say somebody was they would give them a label, say they was retarded or something like that. But we know now because we're more educated and stuff that you got different levels of spectrum how people handle. But you can just imagine, man, it probably could. You talking about people that were born in probably 60s to the 70s, maybe mid 80s. I mean, it was just rough.
It was
parents handle stuff out of knowledge, and everything like that. And I can't say it's too much different now, but I think people say folks quit to diagnose folks with autism. Now I think not enough diagnosed.
Right.
You want me to keep it real?
Right.
So about more people died of now. More people go to the doctor. More people getting tested.
Right. More people got a little bit more than when we were growing up.
Yeah. Because I know it was a couple kids sitting to the right and left of me in my class.
Right.
Like, man,
what on that pencil?
Yeah. Exactly. Hey, man, why you put your damn zipper all day?
Right. But they still was in the class, and we all did what we know. We all hung out and did our thing with them. So, I mean, playing with them, whatever. So, I'm going to ask a question. How do you, I guess, and you can't, I don't know if you can give them the answer to this, but when you think about children being outbursts and tantrums, and then you have an issue where the parents live in separate homes, and the mom might not be with the tantrums, but the dad let it slide. That's a hard regulation right there. You know what I'm saying? Because when he's at the dad's house, I say he at the dad's house for three days, and he tantrum the whole time. Dad's like, no, it's okay. I don't want to say mom because we all put on mom. Dad's like, no, it's okay. You want some cake? No problem. You can have the cake. And baby, I want whole cake. He's like, no, you can have the whole cake. But when you get to mom's house, mom like, you can't have the cake. You can't have the frosting. You can't have nothing. What you go get? You know what I'm saying? And but it's like night and day.
Pray for the best and expect the worst. I mean, because at the end of the day, like, you have no idea because you can't control what go on there. I mean, I can go through that like in my own personal situation. I don't have we got different parent philosophy. My wife a good person. She's not a bad mother. But that's the things that I don't deal with. Right. That's the things she just don't deal with. Right. And that don't mean I'm right. That don't mean she's wrong. I got my vision. The issue is always gonna come up, to be honest with you, when we don't have a shared vision. If you can have two adults, and then that's just the unfortunate part about that. I'm just putting my business out there. I envy people that can okay,
to compare it together like a
I
team.
might not like you. You don't like me. We're cool.
Right.
But this is what we're trying to do.
Right.
Let's go with this plan.
Mm-hmm.
But I haven't been able to do that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Now I haven't had any extreme situations. Our shit might be like gonna pick them up, gonna take them to this, that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I feel like it's minor, right?
Right.
But philosophically, I do typically have to go through a little 48-hour reconditioning phase.
I was just about to say, well, your children are old and they pretty smart. They not. I don't think they're gonna. But how do you think it would have been if they would have been little, like 4 or 5? Y'all been trying.
I cringe on it.
Yeah,
I'm being brutally damn honest.
Right.
I'm being cringe, and I'll be that's another damn show. That's probably why I damn stayed married so long. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because
right.
I can't say. How can I put it? Probably stayed married maybe 4 or 5 years longer than I should. I don't want to get out of subject.
Right.
But I knew that would have been more challenging with little boys.
Right.
Than
older
boys.
Right. Where they can speak their mind.
Yeah, exactly.
And they got communication skills are better.
And I can put more on them.
Right.
As opposed to me and her.
Right.
That makes sense.
Right.
You know
I get what you're saying. They can make the decision they want to come or go.
Well, not even that. Just like if I tell you don't do shit, I'm telling you that.
Right.
As opposed to we gotta.
Right.
And
talk to mama about it, and mama. Right.
Exactly. So the only one that was really young was William, but Christopher. The other two were grown, but Christopher and William. Chris was, I think a junior, senior in high school. So I could just say, hey, this is what needs to be done. He knew it. I could hold him accountable. William was a little younger, so I had to, a little more. But just imagine doing that with 3 or 4 of them.
Right.
Nah.
Yeah.
And so I'm just being
transparent.
Yeah. With that, man. Like I say, pray for the best, expect the worst, because you don't know. Because again, if people can, that co-parenting shit it sounds good, but from a philosophical standpoint, especially, I think what people get missing. That's probably another show we need to talk about that later on down the road. Is that it's not just the agreement at that particular point in time. Because like I say, okay, I want to discipline this way, you want to discipline that way, because they're handling this way.
Right.
What you don't think about is the evolution of that person after the divorce, after the separation.
Right.
Because you have been in a certain pattern for one way, 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Now you're a different person. You single, so your evolution to a different person.
Right.
So how you handle stuff,
it's gonna be different. Right.
Right. So you don't think about that until that happens. That makes sense.
I get what you're saying.
And I don't think a lot of people don't, because you're different, right? You got more freedom. You're doing this. You got your sexy back. They got their sexy back. Everybody cool. They got, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Everybody living their best life.
Right.
And so you might have been stressed and pressed when you were together.
Right.
Now you're cool.
Right.
So some shit, hey, boy, don't do it.
You let that slide off your thought.
Hey, son,
I ain't finna major in the minor.
Huh?
You say I ain't finna major in the minor.
Major in the minor, like shit. So sometimes a parent can get too lenient with the new them. So that's one thing I think a lot of people don't think about. Just really, because you're like where you are, your beliefs and morals and stuff like that. Now you're gonna turn into a bad person, but you're gonna evolve to somebody else in the next couple of years,
right?
Because it's a new you. You got a new norm, right? And it's nothing. I think it's crazy. It's just that's just the reality of things, right? You know what I'm saying? A person go from this way, they date and da. So it's different. I don't think a lot of people think about that. But when we start talking again tonight's show, we're talking about how to handle tantrum and outbursts. What I wanted to give you guys, feel free to call in if you got in a situation where you had tantrums or outbursts with your kids, you had a certain thing a certain way you had to handle it. Feel free to call in. The call in number 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. Now listen. No, all y'all ain't had no damn torso.
Right.
I know y'all got some bad MFs. Whatever. So please call in and share.
Right.
Yeah, they did this and that, did that.
Right.
Feel free to add to the conversation. And what I do want to share with you guys a couple of ways to manage tantrums in the moment. Just say they cut the hell off at the stove, like Lab just mentioned. Give you guys a couple of tips and things I can share with you guys how to handle it. Number one, try to stay calm and grounded. which it can be difficult because sometimes you really don't want to. It's just like we do anything in life. We don't want to make decisions or actions when we elevate it.
Mm-hmm.
Kid and embarrass you, do it. They cutting up this, that, and that. Your normal reaction might be the
right,
boom, boom, boom. I'm mad here. You embarrassed me. Da 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 da.
right.
You beat the hell out of them. Go overboard. Get your butt locked up.
Mm-hmm.
Say some things. Do some things you wish you hadn't did later. You know, the key thing is just try to stay grounded. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of look at it. When you're looking at other people,
right?
Like, okay, because you know sometimes people look at you like, okay,
right,
ride with it.
You get that side eye.
You get your child together, and now you getting embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what wrong with him?
Hey, stay cool.
Right,
stay cool.
Stay calm.
Stay cool, because at the end of the day, those are times you can hurt yourself worse than you hurt their kids. But like I said, you know, just I ain't saying let them tear the club up, but I am saying like, hey, for a minute, pause.
Right.
Let me handle this stuff in a good state, because I might really hurt them. Just like you get arguing with your spouse, significant other, your supervisor say something, you out of pocket, you about ready to snap. You gotta be smart, step out of it, and do that. You gotta acknowledge their feelings. You know, you gotta know that okay, hey, they upset for whatever reason, even if it's nothing. Hey, listen, like, hey, you can't handle stuff like that. And you know, we talking about just handling stuff in the moment,
right?
Cut up and everything like that. We're doing it. You got to sit here and just say, was it acute? Is it because somebody aggravating them? They just didn't get their way or whatever? Like, hey, you got to sit here and just assess that point. Set them boundaries. Like, how far you gonna let stuff go?
Okay.
You know, here's the deal, man. You know. If we somewhere we can't do it, hey, look, man, we got to get out of here and do certain. If I gotta take you to the car down or whatever, I can't, because like I said, parents, we said, oh damn that, I'm gonna beat that. You can't do that now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not 78, it's not 88.
Right.
Hell, ain't 98. You get your ass locked up. You hit your child in public.
Right. And private too. So my I tell you about that daughter. She called the police on us one time. She went outside and disappeared and then come back to the next day. Well, we not having that. She was a teenager, she was in high school there, but we not having that. So yeah, it was some punishments going on. And she called police. Police like, well, what she do? I said, she left. I said, you can take her with you. She left and didn't come back. We've been looking for her, and we didn't call John. They looked at us like, yeah, you did. I said, so yeah, she come back in here like it's all good. So the police said, oh, well, ain't nothing we could do, and left. She thought it was gonna be, you know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we're not playing that game. I'm not at this point, I'm not worried about you call the police because you're gonna get in trouble. I don't care about that. I'm worried about the fact that you thought it was okay to not come home from school and spend night out somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Because, like I said, just you know, the punishment I may get is irrelevant now,
right?
Because you know, at the end of the day, the thing that can happen to you,
right,
or big picture wise, can be more detrimental,
a lot worse.
Yeah.
Slick said, we now have more people watching what you bring into your house, or got a new car and got a new house or car. And now they're breaking into our houses and cars. So everybody's watching what you're doing.
Absolutely. They're watching what you're doing. They listen to what your kids saying. Looking at your boxes, all kind of stuff. Especially down social media.
Right, most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
Most definitely.
You know, those kind of things and stuff. And it's usually not necessarily people that you actually know. But it's more so like maybe their family members, side conversation hearing and stuff like that. So that's absolutely right. But we started again talking about how to handle tantrums and outbursts and looking at some things you do in the moment. One thing I will say, you got to be consistent with how you handle stuff. Look, man, you gonna cut up because I ain't give you that shit. I ain't give you nothing now.
Right.
And be okay with that.
Right.
Be okay. And if they want to cut up further and stuff like that, shit, it ain't happening at all.
But you know what? What you just said right there, we break on that part. Some parents, most parents will break because you take something away, and you want to, like you just said earlier in the show, you want to sit back and enjoy what you got going on, watch your movie.
Yeah.
But they making loud noise because they ain't got nothing. You just end up giving back what you took from them because you wanted to be quiet so you can enjoy what you doing.
Yeah, you don't want to be bothered.
Right.
You love them, but you don't want to be bothered.
Right.
So that'll pacify them and everything.
Right.
Kids not stupid.
Exactly. Right.
You know, so at the end of the day, but you got to be okay with those kind of things. Like, listen, I'm the bad guy. I've never had a problem being the bad guy.
Right.
Be it with my children, be it, business.
Right.
In organizations. Like, I'm always gonna be consistent and fair. I would tell people, be consistent and fair.
Mm-hmm.
And that's always worked for me. The way OG taught me back in the day, and I've always tried to stick with that, especially with my children. But at the end of the day, when they cutting up like that, we start stuff in the moment. Like, no, that ain't gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, I tell my kids all the time, my house not a democracy.
Right.
I don't
dictate
how you feel. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we ain't taking a vote on shit. Like,
when I say go,
you feel. You feel. You know
so what you have to scratch your head? It's like, what
exactly. So you have to be able to do that, and be honest with them.
Mm-hmm.
Be honest with the kids. Like, hey man, this this can't be accepted, but just stay consistent with that.
Mm-hmm.
Be consistent with that, but also this the key thing. Like, when you say something to your child, and you tell them something, stick with it.
Right.
If I say your ass can't go,
you can't go.
You can't go. If I say your ass can't get it, you can't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Not you go home, you cried, and you show a little good behavior later on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he was good. He had a moment. Let me give it to him. No. And I would say this. The angel running my damn mouth. I would say anybody that know me, no, that's how I am.
Right.
So no, when I say no, that means no.
No.
Especially when you did something. Oh, I wouldn't clean my room. Yeah, you didn't clean your room up. So now I had to take this away from you.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go clean your room up. Hey, Dad, I want to clean my room. I'm sorry, this, that, and that. Oh, in my mind, he's a good kid. Let me go. No.
Right.
I told
it's still gone.
Do it. Yeah, it's still gone.
Right.
And it may not come back.
Right.
Right. So, and I think that teaches consequences.
Mm-hmm.
That teaches consequences with doing that. Because a lot of times people don't really understand in their life, and it's cool to get them. It's cool to get them. Don't get it wrong, but everybody don't give you second chances.
That's true.
You know
That's
what I'm
true.
saying? And far too often people get third and fourth chances.
Mm-hmm.
Especially people give you third and fourth chances when you can do something that's advantageous to them.
Mm-hmm.
You see that with the athletes and entertainers.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying?
Right.
People do that. And but I think if you tell them something,
mm-hmm.
and stick with it,
mm-hmm.
that helps. Like, now, I said now.
Yeah.
Now, like I said, just later on and stuff like that, they cried, they feel this, that,
mm-hmm.
and that. You like, they made a mistake. No.
That's
how the world work though, lad.
Oh yeah, when the world say no, it's no. It's no with a capital N.
Yeah, with a capital prison.
Right.
Right. Real talk.
I think a lot of times what we have going on now, especially now, is that the parents try to be friends with their children. Slick say this all the time. Parents try to be friends with their children. It's okay to be court. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how you walk. I guess people don't know how to walk that line where just not being, rah, rah, rah all the time. You want to give some, if your child is not really that, bad or whatever you might want to say, you try to be friendly or nice to them, but you can't be too friendly and nice to where they think that you're their friends and they're equals. You get what I'm saying? And that's what a lot of times we have going on now, is that the children think that they are just as equal as the parents, because that's how the conversation, that's how everything goes.
The funny part about that, Lab, and that's the truth, is that what people, because I've heard that myself in regards to people say, well, I just want to give them an opportunity to speak, let them speak their mind and stuff like that. But you got to be realistic. Is your child mature enough to do that?
Right.
Is your child mature enough to understand certain situations, right? Because a person is getting their opinion, and everybody has one. But when they start speaking about certain things, can you live with the decision of what you're speaking on?
Right.
What I mean by that, or bringing the point, that point, well, I feel like I should be able to do this. I feel like I should be able to do. I should watch TV. I feel like I should be able to do these certain things, and that's how they feel.
Right.
But are they mature enough to understand big picture wise? You need to rest. You need to do this, that, and that may not be a big deal to them. I ain't sleeping. Right.
Until they get up in the morning, they got to get ready for school.
Exactly. And as a parent, how much you going to go back and forth?
Right.
Now, as your child matures and grows, you can say, well, listen, this is the reason why, this reason why. I'm a very big proponent and talking to your children. Because what I always say, the most important thing parents can teach their children how to do is think. Because if you spend most of their life, you're applying for this and you're doing that, and then they get 18, 19 years old, like, boy, you don't know how to do this shit. This, that. Nah,
right.
No, they don't. I was giving PJ, Chris, Will, Torian, all four of them, they have a card. Their name, social, address. They got older know, but they know. So it was time they had to fill stuff out because my kids did a lot of AAU football camps. So they had to go fill stuff out, and they already had that, so they know. So it came to a point. Sometimes by the time they hit teenagers, they memorized it.
Right.
But certain things just to have that on them because now they know how to fill out stuff. I never filled out the first maybe application with them. I never filled out an application for them. Even with William and stuff like that, William's 14 now, like he'll do docs.
Right.
Like, you do it now. I look back over it, don't send it, don't submit it. I look over it for spelling or this, that, and that. But I ain't doing that shit.
Right.
Like, no, and that's all work for me. And I always say, like, look, that come down on a parent, like, I don't get out of my way, let me do it. Because I was always mindful that my grandfather was probably the most influential person me growing up. He was a carpenter. I really didn't learn that from him because he was very awesome man, but he's very impatient.
Okay.
So when I wasn't fixing this or cutting it right, well, get the hell out of the way. Let me go and finish. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It stuck with me, like, I didn't want my kids to do that because the man could build a house from the ground, but he wasn't the most patient with me. I ain't knocking him, just being
that's just
honest.
how. That's how. Slick says, "We will not be smoking and drinking together with your kids. Letting the boyfriend and girlfriend spend the night. Now you shot the stay pregnant." Yeah, because being friends with your children.
Hindsight the best sight.
Right.
Hindsight the best sight.
When we talk about grandparents, and you said something earlier, 60s and 70s and 80s, how it was rough, but each one of them generations is, my mom really didn't raise my grandparents, but if my mom would raise me, she would have raised me like, and I talked about this earlier, she would have raised me like my grandmama raised me. Well, I got my grandmama's raising. You get what I'm saying? So it's, and I'll get my point, but we tend to not try to do what our parents did. We always say, if I had kids, I'm gonna do better than my mom and them did, or I'm gonna do better than my granddaddy and them did, or I'm gonna love my children because my granddaddy, like you said before in many shows, our grandparents wasn't my granddaddy wasn't I love you and hug on me, and he was more like, I was like, my bike broke, okay, fix it. It was more like that type of stuff. Wasn't no come give me a hug or none of that. So
a feature.
Right, I love right. You're in the refrigerator, right? Yeah. You're getting some sugar, you're getting some water, right? Yeah. That's love. But we were different. We want to love and hug and telling our children, we giving them affirmation. We love you, did a great job. Whereas our grandparents didn't say that to us when we were being raised. Yeah. They never said that to us. So that's how we try to be different. And what happens to our detriment on that is, and I'm just gonna think, I think that sometimes we raise softer children that way.
Yeah. Well, it's
like you have like you said one time, you knew somebody that had a 21-year-old living in the house, ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
Not working on nothing. Whereas we was working at 12, 13.
25.
Well, we was working at 12 and 13. Like you say, you carrying a lawnmower around the neighborhood. Yeah. But that's because that's what your grandparents instilled in you.
Yeah. It's twofold. That's a great point, Larry, but it's twofold. Guys, feel free to call in 678-740-9894. Again, that's 678-740-9894. It's twofold to look at it because I looked at it with my grandparents' generation, and I think that a lot of that stuff was based off how they had to function.
Right.
We have opportunities. So we tell our kids we love them and do certain things a lot to instill what in them? Confidence. I don't think that generation was focused on confidence. They were focused on survival, and just function. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As long as I can get this, I do that. The mentality. They, it wasn't about they didn't think about having more than a white man. They just wanted to have something that they were allowed to have. Right. We on different things, especially our children. I ain't give a damn. I just want this, that, and that,
Right.
regardless. But so I think the mindset wasn't about confidence.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It was just that survival and functioning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, with doing it because um, I never got any kind of bounce back growing up. I got more. Well, I've been hearing that shit my whole life. Poochie, you arrogant. You think I've been hearing that shit my whole life. I didn't get a lot of bounce back from it in my house. I never did. But a lot of that to me got to do with, you know what I'm saying, how people feel about themselves.
Right.
Because I mean, off the top of my head, I think it's hard to find a person that gives so much to the community as me.
Right.
I'm just saying dealing with other folk kids and going to schools,
Mm-hmm.
but it's always something people say, and I think that'd be more something with them, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think that those kind of things, while I looked at it, men of the area is more like I said survival, because I mean you can just imagine the shit they went through.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
a lot.
Never getting promoted, never getting opportunities,
Mm-hmm.
never even getting looked at.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you ever remember your grandparents telling you how you was acting, you throwing tantrums? I don't remember my grandparents ever saying I threw no tantrums or outbursts like that.
My granddad, you know, he was a carpenter, man.
Right.
He built.
Right.
Shit. I love him, but I was afraid of him.
Right.
You know,
right.
So I wasn't really like, you know what I'm saying?
I wasn't trying to push them
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Mine was 6'5", 300.
Yeah. He got 2 piece quick. So, you know what I'm saying? So that wasn't really no, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That wasn't really an option.
I just don't remember my grandparents ever saying, you used to always have tantrums. I just don't remember ever saying. And then when I got to an age where I can remember, I don't remember ever doing it.
Yeah. No. But I did see. I get growing up on the west side. People couldn't really afford to do stuff. But I do think that where I always look back at it, everybody was poor, but everybody liked throwing up what they had.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got these shoes, you can't afford this, but everybody stayed in the same neighborhood,
right?
And everybody, mom and dad had no damn money,
right?
But it wasn't the humbleness to know, like, okay, we all ain't got it, we're trying to get it,
right?
My grandfather was never like that. He would never flash this, that, and that. He liked dressing. That's probably where I got that from. Both my granddaddies, but he never made no bones about it. Like, nigga, you got to get this mine.
Right.
You go get yours.
Right.
And that's just kind of how I've always been. But I think a lot of times, like, in our community, what I've always seen was we put a lot of emphasis on, we got this and you got that. You know what I'm saying? And we don't really focus on teaching our kids how to go get your own. We got this and everything. Then when they get older, that's why, again, it's a kind of statistic about the amount of grown children that live with their parents.
Right.
And I think a lot of that got to do with my personal opinion. People just ain't prep their kids to leave. They just ain't prep their kids to leave. Right?
They're in that cold world.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said when we raise them, we're not raising them for us. Like, well, this is how we do in my house. That's cool. But do you want to live in your house? I'm like, I ain't got a problem with it. Bullshit.
Right.
Bullshit. Not here.
Let's Talk America Radio says, I once heard an expert say that behind anger and outbursts was frustration and a sense of lack of control. I think that's very true for the most part.
Yeah, they did. But like we just said, it could be, and that's a great point with the lack of control. But like we said, developmental stage. We don't know if they on a spectrum or not. Triggers, something past trauma, something that happened. I just had those wrote down. Papers, I get my notes all mixed up. I just had damn man. Like, I'm sitting there. I threw my stuff everywhere.
Exploring autonomy and control. Exploring autonomy and control.
How the hell I mixed that up, Lab?
Okay. Hunger, fatigue, overstimulation, or unmet desires.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but that ain't
triggers.
Yeah, I seen the triggers, but what was that after the triggers? I had my notes.
Communication barriers, difficulty expressing needs or feelings.
That's what I thought. Where was that damn paper?
I don't know, but I got mine right.
Okay, thanks, Lab. Oh, here we go. Yeah, those things. Yeah. Development stage. Where they at, the triggers, the communication barriers. Like I said, what Chris can cause those challenges, and the one I think is the most Test the boundaries.
Let's Talk America Radio says I'm referencing adults, not just kids.
Yeah, no, don't same damn thing.
Right.
Again, I really think that as adults, people see how far they can push you. People see how far they can go. You know what I'm saying? Especially they know that if a person care about you, do certain things. That ain't something to just stick with you as a child. I'm gonna keep pushing the needle, see how much, and then if I can poke, and you're gonna sit here and conform and adjust. I might keep doing it,
right?
And everything. If your man know that, hey, listen, he can raise hell. You want him to shut up or whatever. You got to sleep with him, whatever. Be quiet. That's how you gonna get his sex,
right?
If your woman know, hey, listen, she gonna sit here and whine and complain and stuff like that. And always she gonna stop and doing that. If you go buy some stuff, that's it. People gonna push it, right? So that it doesn't change,
right? It's
all about tolerance,
right.
You know what I'm saying?
They got to test them boundaries, right?
So my granddaddy said, "Hey, a woman gonna give you that pacifier." You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hey, say, hey, whatever. You gonna sit here, shut up. I'm already know.
Right.
I'm sorry, I gotta do give him something. He'll be good.
They says that back then. Oh, well, let me go back. She said, "Facts, lad. We saw things we didn't like, and we swore we wouldn't do our kids that way. Back then, all kids had was ADHD. Now kids have the spectrum, PTSD, depression, anxiety, disorder, a lot. I don't even think when I was growing up we had ADHD.
Yeah, they had that shit, like
they did.
Just one diagnosis.
Oh,
see, here's the deal, like you gotta take the good with the bad,
right? So
there are things that you say, okay, well, they soft on them, they diagnose them, they give them all this kind of stuff, right? But the flip side, those kids getting the hell beat out of them and something wrong with them, right? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Did you ever see? I've seen cats growing up, and that stuck with me. They were getting whooped, and they just sit on
corporate buzzer,
and they just sitting there, and I'm like, what the? Hey,
I barely. When I saw my sister was that way. My youngest sister. I've only seen her get disciplined one time, and she just sat there, and all she said was "ouch."
Yeah,
ouch.
And you sitting there like you woo,
right?
You feeling it?
She just sitting there like ouch. I said, And what it did was it made her grandmother even angrier.
Yeah. So with that said, is that the child? That's how they take it, or is it something that making that child? It's something that's so hard on them. It hurts them, but they don't want to even show it.
I think when my sister, it was more of, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction. And I'm going to be honest. I think it was more, I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of thinking this Bob is hurting me.
Yeah, but it could be a rainbow of reasons, not necessarily sister, but just in general. I would say that to say, like, say the good with the bad. You got more diagnosis. You say, that what everybody's saying was wrong, but on the flip side, you handling things a lot better. That you know what I'm saying?
Right. I think when I was growing up in my neighborhood, as far as children were concerned, as far as us as children, we had a couple of kids that probably was on the spectrum. We had one guy named Bobby. He stayed with his mom. His mom was disabled, but Bobby was on the spectrum. Bobby would do things, but Bobby was also, he could fix and drive and do anything. Like he could literally fix a car and drive it, and he was like 12.
Yeah,
like he could put together a go-kart with a motor and then be driving like a car and put gas in it. Like, this is how intelligent he was on certain things, but he also would eat grass. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you knew something was off.
Right. If you knew something was off, or he would get mad and get real angry and violent with his mama. You knew something was off, but back then we just said, oh, Bobby crazy. You know what I'm saying?
So but that's what I'm saying. Like with that, just looking at it, things just weren't. Not that man, he crazy,
right?
Or whatever,
right?
And it could be something wrong, so something that probably need to be treated, or something that need to be looked at. So you got to kind of look at it. Now that's why I say the first thing when we look at kids doing certain stuff, we got to be real with ourselves. Number one, it's something wrong. It's something wrong. Like you can just beat the hell out of them, punch them, and whatever. That joke still gonna be jumping up and landing on their head,
right.
Climbing out the wall, like
climbing up the wall.
Hey, listen, man. Hey, I had a family member. I ain't gonna bring him up. Man.
Right.
I remember when that little boy was little.
Right.
I seen then like, hey, yeah, he was probably about 1 or 2, and I like, hey, that joker there, boy. I used to call him Tasmanian Devil.
Oh, okay.
And he probably about 14 now. Yeah, he's still the same. Minus he got a strong prescription.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Let's Talk America said men can often suppress emotions, which could eventually produce anger. This is true. I think women do that too sometimes.
My damn puppy Snow.
Slick says, you be so over that shit when it's really not me. You get so toughened up that shit don't bother you. It toughens you up. Talking about the tantrums.
Yeah. And here's the deal, man. When you see a kid going through that, because what is a lot of times with children, just like you dating somebody, whatever, it's hard to accept, but everybody don't think like us. So the way Lab had a situation, you do your homework with your kids, like, how the hell you dumbass? You don't get it?
Right.
Especially if you like, if it's complex, you're like, okay, I get it. We figured out. Yay. But you looking at like, look, 2 + 2 is 4. What is the hell are you not getting, son? And they stood at the table. I just said
2 + 2. What's 2 + 2? 6.
Yeah, they said
2 + no. If you got 2 out, you put pennies. You got 2 pennies, and you add 2 more. How many you got? 8.
Yeah. You got, what the hell are you touching lip for? Right. No.
What's up at the sky? Write down. Do long math.
But you just you really. I'm just saying. A lot of times people have to sit here and stop and just say, look, let me figure that out, because now you got to sit here and be honest with yourself, be transparent. My child might have some kind of issue that needs to be addressed. Now you assess it like, okay, well, we might have had them out too late or whatever. They're a little feeling funky. They may have had some past trauma that caused them to act a certain way, whatever. Or like say, the testing boundaries. I think a lot of stuff be assessed from now. But I think that the handling part, that being consistent, that knowing like, hey, look, this shit ain't how we're gonna accept this.
Right, that's not how it's gonna
go.
What
I'm saying?
Right.
Now they got an issue, a diagnosis, and a prescription. It's different.
Okay. And
I'm pretty sure, Lab, if you said a young lady was doing that in the store, that's probably somebody had something. Now, the only thing about it, I can't, when I say have a diagnosis, because we know that's not normal behavior.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That was one thing with my it was a kid in the neighborhood. My mama said, she said, just speaking them terms, he was off. Now, how you know? He looked like a regular kid to me. She said he gleamed too much. He was just smiling. That shit was the first thing from my mind.
Right.
But people can see certain things and know stuff. But if once you know, now, okay, how we going to address it?
Right.
Right?
Right.
But if you sit there like, no, they know this, that, and then your kids doing stuff. And that's why we have a lot of people that are raised just on stuff just wasn't, taking consideration. Folks don't want to address some stuff.
Right.
And then when they get in trouble, now we're trying to find a diagnosis and all that other kind of stuff. And then probably if that stuff was taken care of on the front end, certain things wouldn't happen. They wouldn't be in certain situations.
Let's talk America. Let's consider changing the verbiage of something wrong to unique. Many people may hesitate to get support because of the cultural stigma of something wrong. Words help shape our approach.
No, something wrong. I ain't gonna say nothing unique. No, something wrong. Something wrong. That ain't nothing unique about this kid jumping off the table. Ain't nothing unique about this joker chewing on the table.
Right.
What's unique about that, lad? What's unique about that, lad?
I'm just saying.
I'm gonna chew on the table. This is unique. You know what I'm saying? Unique is almost positive.
Well, but the unique part is that they may be doing that, but they make it, like I just explained about Bob, they make it do something else better.
Yeah, but the chewing on the table is wrong.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The chewing on the table is wrong. Says Redbone says so true 100%. That's one thing. What's up here? I'm not trying. I understand we don't use negative connotations that can,
Right.
People be reluctant. I get it, but it is what it is.
Right.
You know, and everything. But see, that's going back what I'm saying too, Lab. We got to get out of worrying about how people see us, because, and I don't want to do it because at the end of the day, how I feel, how you feel, is whatever we'll see it. But you see this,
right.
You see this, and what I keep saying, we raise our kids to deal with society,
right,
not our house,
right. We should be anyway.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Your child is going to function in the world and deal with other people, not your family. And that's where the thought process needs to be. Not, this is how we do in our house, right? Because now when they hit 21, legally, they supposed to be out there with everybody else. But you ain't talking about how to respect other people. You ain't talking about how to handle other people. Now you see the kids, they playing the music in front of everybody. They cussing in front of older people. You know what I'm saying? They breaking into a house in the middle of the day. You know what I'm saying? All kind of stuff, because again, they ain't looking at it like this is how, you know what I'm saying, you should be doing things for society.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Folks got certain things, no respect for other people. You know what? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think that's the piece that people.
The social skills be minimal. Social skills be minimal.
Yeah,
because you haven't trained them for the social world and how people are going to react to certain things said, certain things, looked at, how you dress. You can't say, that looks nice on you, but I don't think wearing purple polka dot pants with a green checkerboard shirt is going to work. You know what I'm saying? So you got to, all those things have to be adjusted. So when they go out in the world, they won't get more issues that may cause more problems. So it's just when you raising your children, you definitely have to raise them for the world, especially when they start going to school, because children are rough.
Yeah,
children are rough on I think children are rougher on your child or the other person's child more than you are.
Absolutely.
That's more than the parents are, because children have no filter
at all,
and they say the darndest things, as you know, and you have to learn. You have to have your child has to have tough skin in order to deal with it, because they can't make it past first, second, and third grade. They definitely not going to be able to make it past 6th, 7th, 8th, then sophomore, junior, high school. You know what I'm saying? I think it taps down when you get to junior and high school and stuff, but you gotta go to that middle school and that first couple of years of high school, it gets rough.
Well, when is the bully shit going to teach you how to handle that shit as an adult? Because every time I'm stepping in, as and I don't think nobody needs to be persecuted and bothered and somebody effing with you for no damn reason. But shit, you get be an adult, now your boss punking you.
Right.
Now your woman punking you. Now your neighbor punking you. Now everybody punking you, because every time something got difficult where you had to stand up for yourself, you sit there, you call them on bully laws.
Right.
I'm 5'5", man.
Right.
I would tell folks, look, man, ain't nothing wrong getting your ass whooped. There's something wrong getting punked. You know what I'm saying? You better make sure they feel you. But I'm just saying, people will F with you and bother you forever if you let them. Get your ass whooped. Stand up for yourself.
And that goes back to Let's Talk America, when she said sometimes people suppress those emotions and then they have an outburst, and that's true. When you're talking about that part there, sometimes you just got to stand up for yourself early. Let's Talk America says a special education. She said words are powerful, gents. A special education teacher once shared that parents reject help at times, quickly responding with "nothing is wrong with her." The teacher said, "No, it's not. She just needs additional support," which is true. Slick says, and you can't tell some people about their kids. I worry about my grandkids and their social cues. I'm sorry.
Well, the as far as even with people not necessarily want to hear certain things about their kids, or hoping that you get a teacher that can articulate a way that your kid may need additional help. You hope you get it. But at the end of the day, most time you don't need that shit. I'm just saying, Lab. You know. Like I said, he chewing on the table. but he knows multiplication, but he's chewing on the table.
Right.
Right. They're in the middle of Walmart cussing and doing all this. There's something wrong, but they're brilliant. Mm-hmm. They're doing all this other stuff. I get it, right. But they still have this behavior.
Right.
So, regardless if a person just say, because I've been called, not necessarily with children. People say, "Well, you saying it the wrong way. You're doing this." It don't matter how I say. If you know it, you worry about my delivery and the message. Now I have to be cognizant of that. We talking about adults now. Right. I had to be cognizant of how I deliver stuff to my child because I don't want my message to get lost with my delivery. Right. But as an adult, you're not going to be privy to that. Unless somebody trying to sell you on something. They're trying to sell you on something, get you to do it to benefit themselves.
Right.
They may be more mindful of their delivery. But shit, you lucky if you got to teach somebody like, hey, look, they need this.
Right.
We ain't have to say it like that. Well, look, man, regardless if you do or don't buy into this, what we're suggesting, this is what's going to happen. And that's how it is, right?
Right.
And you can sit here and argue with people with, hey, they didn't do this with my child. I don't feel like that. They try to put my child in this class or that class and stuff like that. If it's something got to be addressed, we got to address it.
Right.
Regardless of how we try to
address it sooner rather than later.
Yeah. So if a person doesn't say, I get it. You can't say that because I mean, as a youth football coach, a lot of parents, just hey, I think my son should do this. I just stuck for them thing to be brutally honest. Mm-hmm. Well, who I hear your son better than you?
Right.
No, he ain't better than him. So we got one ball. Mm-hmm. You got him like 8-9 minutes in the quarter.
Right.
Now I got them 3. Now your son, them 3 gonna touch it.
Right.
Your son ain't better than them 3. Well, how you gonna tell me? No, your son ain't better than them 3. Mm-hmm. And if you find now, listen, I want to win the game.
Right, most definitely.
I know my son wasn't, so my son ain't touching the ball. That's
right.
The coach talking.
Right.
My son ain't better than him.
He not gonna run the ball.
I want to win.
Right.
So I'm gonna do it. Well, how you gonna tell them? Listen, your child has showed me they don't want to do any of the other stuff that them guys want to do. Mm-hmm. And number one, they ain't the want. They got a capacity. Mm-hmm. So that brutal honesty ruled a lot of folks the wrong way. You can't tell nobody what they can't do, this, that, and that. Mm-hmm. Hey, listen, prove me wrong.
Right.
Prove me
your
wrong.
Opportunity.
You have one kid just getting the ball. I don't care where you get to him. Touchdown.
Right.
Touchdown.
Right.
Your kid can't do that. Because
that kid had the practices and everything.
Well, no, he just born like that.
Okay.
He just born like that. He can't about his mama like that.
Okay.
He just and some of them, laugh, and some of them like that.
Yeah.
Hey, they come out of that. Hey, some of them like that. And at the end of the day, now I ain't talking about practice. I'm just talking about talent. It's just like that. And sometimes people don't want to accept that. We're doing it. And me and one of my sons were talking. Because he's a real mild man, sharp guy. But I told we were really talking about, you young man, we had those tougher conversations. Like, hey, if we will get the oil. But like I was telling him, like, hey, look, bro. Very smart guy, very brilliant guy, and you have a lot of talents. But don't let opportunity get missed because somebody damn talking louder. And I always brought up like, correlate with football. You got the one guy out there, Coach, put me in, Coach. Oh, Coach, you don't know what he's doing.
Right.
Oh, Coach, I can do it. Oh, boy, I said,
I can run 5 times faster than him, Coach.
Over here. He was go hard. Coach,
right.
Man, shut the hell up. Get your ass in there.
Right.
Because they're yapping.
Right.
They doing stuff, whatever.
Right.
But you're better. But you're waiting your turn.
Right. You wait your
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I want to wait my turn. And they say it's not fair. Life ain't fair.
Right.
You're not always going to get your turn. Sometimes you got to sit here and take shit.
You got to take your turn.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Sometimes you got to look, no. That's what happened. But I hope we had a good discussion. I hope we kind of enlightened everybody in regards to what we're talking about. How to handle outbursts and tantrums. We're doing it. I appreciate everybody on the feedback. I was glad some of those points were brought up, especially in regards to how to handle certain stuff. You're not always gonna get that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna get it. And I'm gonna be very real with this. Unfortunately, the people that actually really need help or need assistance with their children, they're not gonna be privy to somebody giving them a certain delivery the way they want. They're gonna get a certain message because people tired of dealing with your child. Take out how you want to take it because they didn't say the way you like it. They're going to deal with the situation how the hell they want to deal with it.
Right.
So we can't sit here and just hope that people say stuff to us in a certain way. That's just not, at the end of, because they're going to move on. Each school year, teachers are going to get what? A new set of kids.
Mm-hmm.
You're stuck with your child forever,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
So you got to sit here and say to yourself, like, look, I don't like how the hell they talk to me or this, that, and that, and everything. So is how they said it to you, Bobby, or just
what they said? Right.
You know what I'm saying? Most of the time, it's that what they say,
Mm.
right? And we got to be real with ourselves and, just don't lose stuff.
Right.
Because we're worried about what's said.
Right.
Or how stuff look. Or what we think other people. You know what I'm saying?
I get it.
I look at it like my son had to go through certain special ed stuff and go through speech and do other stuff. And shit, a year and a half, I'm graduating from college now. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And what if I've been on that bullshit? Like I'm worried about what folks say. You know what I'm saying?
You had to grasp hold of it and get it taken care of early, so he won't have a problem later on in life.
Did I feel a certain time way? So we got is in special ed now because we know at the end of the day we were growing up, speed, whatever.
Right.
So do you feel a certain kind of way when he in it? Of course.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you know what destination you want your child to be in.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. I can be real with and be honest with stuff with myself. And I look at that shit graduating a year and a half. So those kind of things, like, look, man, we need to get this shit addressed. Like this is
serious.
Yeah, this and I'm seeing, hey, this what he doing ain't working.
Right.
So I don't need a teacher just being there. A teacher that may not be the most tactful. They might be ignorant. I don't need to hear that from them when I know that, right? And I'm more focused. She ain't have to say it that way, or she not professional.
I just need to hear them say it.
Yeah. Look, well, hell, I think I hear them say it because I see the shit.
Right. But they address it.
Yeah, exactly. And people get so focused on that. You can't talk about my child. You can't do this. Can't do that. But your child, they just building folder. Boom, boom, boom,
right.
Boom, boom. And you ain't fixed the problem. Right.
And that folder follows them.
Yeah. That was
every school they go to. People don't believe that folder follow you.
Oh, the folder don't disappear.
The folder don't go nowhere. Right.
There are some benefits and things that we've been able to take advantage of because we don't request the folder.
Right.
I'm just
the folder follows you.
Yeah. I'm just saying there are things where we had to request that benefit. You know what I'm saying?
Think about when you fill out that job application, they ask you what schools you went to because they checking the folder.
Yeah. Somebody's gonna be proud, but when we start looking at certain stuff, to your point, was doing that, man. But I really want, I really want to have this discussion because far too often people get caught in their feelings as opposed to, the reality.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But listen, y'all, I just want to tell everybody I appreciate you tuning in. I hope everybody having a great 2025 so far. I wasn't here, but your boy had a smooth birthday.
That's right.
Didn't do everything I wanted to do because Mother Nature and everything.
They not that on that for you, right?
I always say something, man. Any trip around the sun that you can make, take it, baby.
That's right.
I take an idea of it, man. I want to tell everybody I appreciate all the love and support. We'll be back next week with Mr. Short Dollar. We matter of fact, lab, have we hit 20,000 for changing lives?
Yeah.
We hit 20,000.
21.
Shit, that's on the past.
I think I checked that the other day.
21,000, man. I know we over 70,000. 71,000 for Mr. Short Dollar, man. So shit, we might be getting some hardware for the spring.
Right? That $1,000, that 100,000.
Yeah. Talk to me now.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So now, man, I want to tell everybody thanks for all the love and support. We're gonna keep chopping wood. Tax season around the corner, so you guys know I'm a tax accountant, accountant period by profession. So make sure you check us out at Majestic Business Services or majesticbiz.com. Also, you can go to Mr. Short Dollar, my other YouTube channel. We got all the any video that we have, because the main hub is Changing Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden on YouTube. Change the Lives, hosted by Deonte Burden on YouTube. You can go there, or you can Google Deonte Burden. All this stuff should pop up in the description section of each video. Is all the links, social media, business, LinkedIn, and all that stuff. So you can always just check that out. But man, again, from the bottom of my heart, I want to tell everybody thanks for all the love and support. Appreciate everything you guys do. Hey man, we're gonna have a bad 2025.
Most definitely.
And guys, while we're on the subject, before we get off, make sure you go to Misfits Radio, Misfits TV. Check everything out. We got how many shows we got right now?
8.
8 shows. 8 shows.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. Come on now.
All different.
All different. Do we got another? We got another gospel show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yesterday. That's every second. I'm sorry, every first and third Wednesday.
Yeah, first and third Wednesday. Okay. And so, what the comedy is? What
Wednesday?
But it's before the comedy.
It's after the comedy.
After the comedy.
Wednesday, every first and third Wednesday at 9:30.
That explains it, Lamb.
Right.
Because I seen the it was probably about 10. Live. Okay.
Yeah,
that explains that. Okay.
What's like, what are you doing live at 10 o'clock?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, look, guys, I want to tell everybody again, I love you all. Appreciate the support. Y'all take care. Be safe. And I'll talk with you soon.